Hey, how's it going? Before we start this video, here's a disclaimer. This video may be found offensive by some people just by its name. So before we start, I have to clarify that this video is made only for the purpose of education and entertainment. Whew, I got that out of my system. Ready? Let's go. Have you heard this new song by Ed Sheeran? Doom doom doo doo doom doo doom 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 doo doo doom doo doom. It's a beautiful track, good vibes and a unique style. It's not like your average Western pop, it has a Persian soul. Speaking of Persians, Iranians are treating this song like divine validation. Cover songs popped up everywhere. Maz Jobrani made a whole video about its name. Social media flooded like national holiday level excitement. And most of this happens before the song even got released. You don't see Chinese people getting so hyped over an outsider song. Arabs, not really. Turks and Indians, sometimes. Yeah, but today my focus is on Iranians, and that's what this video is about. Why Iranians crave recognition. And to understand that, we need to learn some history. The place you're looking at is what you know as the Persian Empire, but the Iranian identity, it's much bigger than the current modern Iran. Iran is old, really old. It was the beating heart of many ancient civilizations, kingdoms, empires, and khanates. But history has a rule. All empires crumble, and so did Iran. As a bridge between the East and the West, many people tried to claim this land. The Romans, Turks, Mongols, Arabs. And over time, its borders shrank, smaller and smaller. But that's all in the old times. Let's get to the modern times, shall we? December 15th, 1925. Iran is in trouble. Big trouble. The north is overrun by Soviets, the south is controlled by the British Empire, and the current young Shah, Ahmad Shah Qajar, is too weak to do anything about it. By the way, the word Shah is Persian for king, so from now on whenever I say Shah, you know I'm talking about a king. Ahmad became Shah 2 decades earlier at just 11 years old, after his father was overthrown by a wave of Islamist constitutionalists. It is said that he ran after his father's chariots, crying out loud, "Dad, don't leave." Imagine becoming a teenage king while your country is getting controlled by outsiders. That sounds fun, right? Then in 1921, an Iranian military man named Reza Khan Mirpanj led a coup d'etat that dealt a massive blow to the young king's ego. And on December 15th, 1925, Ahmad Shah was officially deposed and Reza became the king. Ahmad Shah's life was in many ways a tragedy. Some Iranians believe he was so disconnected from his people, and there's allegedly a rumor that he once said, and I am not exaggerating, he allegedly said, "I hate Iranian folks so much that I don't even want to see my own mother face in the mirror." Whether he actually said this or not, who knows, but this might be the first recorded quote of Iranian self-hate. I believe that this guy deserved more respect. Now let's go back to Reza Khan, now officially crowned Reza Shah Pahlavi. He was not your average king, didn't come from royalty, nor did he inherit a throne. He marched in boots first, gun ready. He was a military man, through and through. No poetry in his blood, just discipline, just control. He built roads, railways, factories. He banned veils, crushed tribes, and silenced clerics. To some, he was a modernizer. To others, he was a dictator in a uniform. But one thing is clear, he was the anti-Qajar. Where Ahmed Shah cried, Reza Khan told a whole nation to shut up and fall in line. But even his reign ended in irony. In 1941, under the pressure of allies, he was forced to step down from his kingship. This pattern is important later on in the video. Ahmad was overthrown by Reza with the help of the British Empire. Then Reza himself was overthrown by the very same people who set him in power. That pattern, keep it in mind. It's gonna come back. So now enters the son, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, a king with a crown, but always chasing his father's shadow. He smiled for cameras, flew across continents, threw parties for presidents and queens, but inside, he feared what his father never did: losing control. Still, he made some efforts. The biggest one, the White Revolution. A massive modernization campaign. It brought schools, literacy, and voting rights for women. Sounds good, right? But the devil's in the details. One part of it aimed to give land to the poor. Noble in theory, a mess in practice. It financially rigged farmers and pissed off landowners. No one was happy. And when the discontent grew, he didn't listen. He tightened the grip. Just like his father, he went after religion. And to do it, he built Savak, a brutal secret police force. They spied, tortured, silenced. Fear became law. But maybe the clearest sign that he was losing touch was the party. In 1971, he threw one of the most expensive celebrations in history, a 2,500-year tribute to the Persian monarchy at the ruins of Persepolis. Imported trees, gold plates, French chefs, kings and queens from all around the world. It cost hundreds of millions of dollars. While outside the tent, many Iranians couldn't even afford bread. It was the beginning of the end. And remember that ancient pride we talked about earlier? The history, the culture, the forgotten glory? Well, it stayed forgotten until these two, Reza and his son, decided to dig it up, polish it, and sell it to the world. But the problem is you can't sell pride to people who are angry, hungry, and afraid. And from that chaos, a new figure was rising. Ruhollah Khomeini came into the world in 1902 in a small town named Khomein in central Iran. Yeah, that's where his name comes from. Humble beginnings, clerical family. His father, a cleric, was allegedly murdered when Khomeini was just a baby. Some say by local bandits, others say it was political enemies. He grew up religious, really religious. He spent his youth studying Islamic law, philosophy, poetry, and mysticism. He was trained in Qom, the Vatican city of Shia Islam, where he became a respected scholar. Quiet, focused, not a political guy, not yet. Then came 1963. The Shah launched the White Revolution. Land reform, women's voting rights, secular education. To the Shah, this was progress. To many religious leaders, including Khomeini, this was an attack on Islam, on tradition, and on their influence. And so Khomeini stepped out of the shadows. He spoke loudly, criticized the Shah directly. A bold, borderline suicidal move. He was arrested and then exiled. But that only turned him into something bigger, a symbol. Still, let's not get it twisted. Khomeini was not the only voice against the monarchy. The country was bubbling with anger from all sides. Islamists, yes, but also leftists, communists, nationalists, students, workers, intellectuals. At one point, there was even a straight-up Nazi organization in Iran. Everyone had their own dream of revolution, different visions, different gods, but one shared enemy. The Shah had to go. Finally, after years of unrest and blood in the streets, the Shah left Iran in January 16, 1979. And just like that, after decades in exile, Khomeini came back. Greeted like a god, cheered by millions, he assumed power. But the revolution wasn't just his. Communists, nationalists, liberals, students, and clerics, everyone thought they would shape the new Iran. And what followed was not harmony. It was a power struggle. And over time, one by one, each of them fell. The Islamic Republic was born, and Khomeini, he wasn't just leading a country, he was building a theocracy. That's how the monarchy ended, and a revolution that had room for everyone ended up belonging to one man, one ideology, one vision. Now, if you're expecting me to go deeper into what happens after that, the executions, the war, the purges, I'd love to, but I don't want to get into trouble. Look, I'm Iranian and there are limits to what I can say, and I have chosen not to dive too deep into the post-revolution history of Iran. So from now on, we're gonna focus on something else, the international face of Iran. All you need to know is that after the revolution, Iran started picking a fight with the USA, and the USA has powerful friends. Friends who control narratives, friends who run the media, friends who, for some mysterious reason, are always on the same page. Soon, the Western media started painting Iranians as turban-wearing barbarians. Hollywood made movies where ancient Persians looked like monsters, villains, grotesque creatures with no soul. And just like that, the identity of one of the oldest civilizations known to mankind started to fade. Now to the world, we are just a bunch of unknowns. A shadowy people from a land locked in time, an island cut off, not just by politics, but by perception. Remember when I mentioned how the British had hands in overthrowing some of our kings? Well, it wasn't just them, the Americans also got involved too. The US government helped send some of Iran's prominent figures into exile, such as Prime Minister Mossadegh. This guy who had the guts to nationalize Iran's oil industry. The Americans didn't like that, neither the British. Because of all that, some Iranians have held a grudge. A deep one, a grudge that said, these people don't care about us, they just want our oil. And honestly, can you blame them? But let's be real, our current government, they've taken this grudge and turned it into a chant.
Marg bar Israel! Marg bar Israel! Marg bar America! Marg bar America!
You've heard it. We also used to say death to England. But since then, Britain hasn't been so active, so we kind of stopped saying it. Now though, things have changed. Iranians have internet access. How can you hear from me if I didn't have internet? We see Western shows, movies, we see everything. And yeah, we've seen plenty of the disrespect too. The movies, jokes, caricatures, the way our history gets twisted or erased. So yeah, betrayed by outsiders and screwed by insiders. Stuck, clinging to ancient pride while everyone else saw us as the bad guys in turbans. Proud? Sure. Bitter? Absolutely. Confused? You have no idea. Imagine a country like Djibouti. It has a long history too, but not that kind of history, not like Egypt, Iran, or China. So when the world overlooks them, it doesn't hurt as much. It's like when you show a piece of candy to a child and you lie to him going like, well, this is just a bitter pill. It's not a tasteful thing, it tastes bitter. And if the kid has never tasted candy before, he will believe you. He won't cry, he won't feel robbed because he doesn't know what is missing. But if he has tasted candy before, if he knows how sweet it is supposed to be, and then you try to lie to him, he will break down. He'll feel cheated. That's countries like Iran, Egypt, Turkey, and China. We know what we once were, we know what we're missing. So when the world trashes our image, it hits different. And it leads to two really ugly symptoms. Number one, self-hatred. You hear people say stuff like, I wish I was born in a different country like USA, or I hope bombs us so this society crumbles to dust. And the second symptom, pathetic desperation for validation. People scouring the internet for the tiniest scraps of recognition. Oh my god, Family Guy referenced Persians. Whoa, what an achievement. Wow, Ed Sheeran made an Iranian-themed song. I feel so good. Amber Heard has a Persian tattoo. Whoa! Oh wait, she shat on Johnny Depp's bed. No! You see the pattern here? You know what I'm saying, right? And then it gets worse. Now you get reaction videos. Some random guy in London realizes he can farm millions of views just by bobbing his greasy head to music he doesn't understand. And you celebrate it like it's the Olympics. Bro, you reacted to Iranian music. We're finally getting recognized. Recognized by who? This guy. This guy? This Subway sandwich level philosopher? So let me get this straight. You waste your time, give this guy ad revenue, inflate his channel because you're so thirsty for some rando in sweatpants to nod at your culture? Kiss off that! That's why YouTube comment sections look like a refugee camp of desperation. Jai Shri Ram! Thank you for showing our culture. Awoo! Just a massive group hug of people begging strangers to validate their existence. It's disgusting. It's weak. It's why nobody takes you seriously. And honestly, I'm probably gonna get death threats for this video. But good, maybe it'll wake somebody up. So what now? Do we keep licking boots for attention? Or do we finally get off our knees and stand the hell up? Because the hunger for validation doesn't go away, it just mutates. And every time you feed it, you lose a piece of yourself. If you think this video, which I bled for, deserves to be seen, slap that like button, comment and subscribe. Not for me, not for clout, but because somebody finally said it. Woo! Ciao.